Hey everyone, it's Shelly. If you've ever been frustrated by not getting your text or titles to move, I've got a few ways to show you how to do it. So let's say you're working in a project in iMovie and you have a title, and as you go through the timeline, you see that there's nothing happening with your title and you really wish it would be moving all over the screen. Let's fix that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to fire up a new browser window and we're going to head over to PicMonkey.com. At least that's what I'll be using for my example. You can always use Pixlr or GIMP or Photoshop or anything else. I'm going to create a new project and design, and I'm going to make the dimensions 1920 by 1080. And then I'm going to apply a transparent background. On the left side of the screen, you're going to see about 4 options down, the TT, that means text. I'm going to go on there, and then because it's just an example, I'm just going to select one of the very first fonts, and I'm going to try and write the exact same thing that is already in my title. In iMovie, I'm just going to switch back and forth real quick just so I can try and copy the same text and make it be the same. Now what I'm doing with the text isn't really the most important part of this, but for the example I thought I would go ahead and make the text white and throw a shadow on there just like there is in iMovie, so it looks fairly similar. I also like to create multiple text boxes between lines, that way I can control the spacing in between, and it just gives me a little bit more control, so I like that. PicMonkey does have an option where you can basically duplicate the text and it will have all the attributes that you've already assigned be copied to the next round of text, which is really helpful, but I'm just doing these separately for the sake of this example. Now, one thing you cannot do in PicMonkey is add an emoji to your text line, and so there is an emoji in the title line. So what we actually are going to have to do is open up a browser and we are going to go look for a smiley face emoji and then add PNG to the search so we can find one with a checkerboard background so that it will be transparent. I'm just going to select the first emoji here that is a smiley face that I like under images, make sure it has the checkerboard background, save the image to my computer, and then I'm going to pull it into iMovie, or in this case, PicMonkey. Now click the butterfly that is right below the text option and add your own option for an overlay, which is coming from your computer, this file that you just saved, and go ahead and size it down to however large you want it and kind of move it over into place. Once you're happy with how your picture looks, you're going to go ahead and export this file. Make sure to save it as a PNG so it will maintain that transparent background. That's going to be very important because if you save it as a JPEG, it is not going to look the same. Once it's done exporting, go ahead and pull it into iMovie under the media section or just drag it down onto the timeline. Either will work. Go ahead and pull the picture into the timeline, and when you go and play your scrubber back over it, you're going to see that it is going to be moving on screen. There, do you see it? It's moving from the right to the left. If you remember back to my video about how to work with overlays in iMovie, you're going to remember that this was something that I said was really annoying, but in this case, it actually ends up working to our advantage. This is the Ken Burns effect. Let me show you how it's being done. So when you click on that icon that looks like the little interwoven diamond, you're going to see 2 boxes in the corner if you see them right there. There's one on the lower left and there's one on the right, and it says start and end. And what that means is that the picture is going to rotate based on a starting point and an ending point. What's weird though is that what you think is going to happen is not going to happen. This looks like it's going to go from left to upper right, correct? But when we go back to play it, I want to show you what happens. Okay, here we go with playback, and it's going from right to lower left. Do you see how it's opposite than what you thought? This is something actually kind of funny. Whenever you need to remember this, whenever text is moving with Ken Burns, it is going to go almost in the opposite direction of what you think is going to happen. If this doesn't make sense to you, you are not alone. I know, it's weird. Just think completely opposite of what you thought was going to happen. Go back and play with it a few times so you can see if you play with the start and play with the end, watch it happen. Now I'm going to reverse it. So we're going to go from the upper right to the lower left in the box direction, but the text is going to go in the opposite direction. Do you see? Please don't feel bad if you don't get this right away. Just go back and play with it a couple times. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. I'm going to go ahead and just hit Control C to copy, Control V to paste the exact same kind of overlay that we did. And we're going to do a new effect on the next item. Keep in mind that this will only work if you have already highlighted in yellow the clip that you want to copy. Because it copied over the attributes, we're going to go ahead and unclick that button so we can turn that off. We're going to go back to a fit, and we're going to go see those double boxes, click on that, and we're going to do a picture in picture. Go ahead and just stretch out the overlay to size so that you can see it. This is something new that we're going to try. This is going to be working with keyframes. And you're going to see a little diamond icon that's usually hidden. I'm going to highlight it here in just a second and zoom in so you can see it better. Once again, make sure that the clip that you're working with is already highlighted and has a yellow box around it. That's how you know. Okay, going back to our diamonds, we're going to click on that for a second. There is that diamond right there. That diamond is representing keyframes, and I'm going to go into a whole bunch of depth with this in a separate video, so I'm not going to do too much with it right here. But basically, you're just going to move the item where you want it, put a new keyframe, put it again in a new place, put a new keyframe. And then when you're done with that, you're going to be able to play it back, and you will see that the item is kind of dancing around and moving on screen. So I'm just quickly going through it right here, just so you can see it, but I will go in depth in another video about it. So I'm just going to show you quickly what we've done. Title where it doesn't move, the original Ken Burns with the minor movement, the modified Ken Burns where we went in and made some drastic changes with it, and then the next one is the keyframes where it's kind of jumping around on the screen. Now we've covered a lot here today, and if you're looking for one more way that you can move text, there's also a video that I have on creating text in Keynote and being able to move it around there, which is actually a really good one to also take a look at because you'll have all other effects that you can do as well that aren't included in just doing it as an overlay. But this is kind of a general overview of what you can do with overlays. You can certainly do a lot more, and we can get into more depth in another video. I hope you guys try this, and I hope if you do, please send me a video so I can see.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I put out a new video every week. I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. I'll see you very soon. Bye!